Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a ladder paracord bracelet. Now this is a ladder knotting pattern, and as you'll see, I'll go ahead and take this part here. It looks this way on the front side, and it looks like this on the back side, so you can see where it gets its name, the ladder. So I'm going to show you how to do it from start to finish in this video. And what you'll need for this project is you'll need 2 colors of paracord. You could do this with 1 color, but I think it really showcases the design if you do it in 2. So 2 lengths of paracord. I have a clasp here as well. You're also going to need a lighter, a pair of scissors, and if you're trying to measure for a specific size bracelet, of course, a ruler. So I have my 2 lengths of paracord here. I have 6 feet of the navy blue and 6 feet of the maroon color. And I'm just going to go ahead and set the maroon one aside for right now. I'm going to take the navy blue, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to match up the ends and make sure that I find the midpoint, and that is about right here. And before I do any knotting, I'm going to go back to one end here, and just to make it a little easier on yourself so you don't have to use pliers, you're just going to slip this ring on, and you're going to slide it all the way down to that center point of your knotting. So just like that. So you don't have to open the jump ring, you just slide it on like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure about 8 inches, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop with this cord and place it over my bracelet. So you see I have the ring here. So now that I have this loop coming over the front, I'm going to take the second loop and put this over the front as well, but I'm going to make sure that it goes underneath my bracelet. And go ahead and pull that through. So you see where I'm at so far? I have this loop coming across and this one coming up and behind. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end and thread it through my loop here and pull it, keeping it nice and even. So this is sort of the starting point of this bracelet. So just kind of adjust it, and we'll adjust it again as we go. We'll have to remeasure. Now I'm going to take my maroon cord and I'm going to thread it underneath and over, but before I complete my loop, I'm going to add the second jump ring. And now I'm going to go down and through this loop and just pull it all the way through. And you're going to want to get to that point where this is in the center of the maroon cord. So just find your other cord end and just match up where that center is. And this part can be tricky because you're just sort of making sure that everything stays where it needs to stay. So this is where I'm at now, making sure that's even. So now I'm going to start to tighten this navy blue knot, and you just kind of work it down. But what I want to make sure is that I leave this up in a nice little loop. And I'll show you kind of how it works. You just kind of got to wiggle it down and it'll stay up there for you. Okay. And just pull on that navy blue cord and just kind of wiggle it together with your fingers. So now I have my jump ring up here and my jump ring down here, and this is going to be the length of your bracelet. So I'm going to just sort of quickly remeasure. Oh, looks like I've lost a little length, so I'm going to readjust and give a little bit more length to my blue cord. And like I said, this is the trickiest part. I promise after this it gets easier. So just move my ruler there, pull this down, and just kind of adjust it to make sure it sits up there nice and tight. Okay, let's see. So now from tip to tip, yep, that's a little bit closer to the 8 inches that I want, and I'm going to be happy with that. So now we're going to actually do the braiding. So this is what your knot looks like when you go and you start to do the actual ladder braiding. So what we're going to do is you're going to take the right hand maroon cord and place it over the two navy cords coming down. And the maroon cord on the left, you're going to take it and place it behind the two navy cords coming down. So this is where you start. So the right is on top and the left is on bottom. Now, taking the right hand navy cord, you're going to take the cord end and you're going to go over and up and through the back two here, and then you're going to pull it out and keeping it in this sort of pattern. So it's coming around and down and up and through, and you're going to repeat on the left side. So over, around, and I'm just going to pull it through. So this is your pattern. You see how it's coming around the loops? So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to tighten our maroon cords first, tighten a little bit of our navy cord, and tighten the maroon cord, tighten the navy cord. And this is only as finicky as this is for the first few knots. You'll see it'll start to develop and it'll start to lay in place. So keep good tension. And I'm just gonna pull, sorry, my fingers are getting in the way, but I'll show you how it looks. And you just gotta keep your loop there tight. And I'm just gonna get in here and really tighten it up. So what you're gonna see is you're already gonna see the ladder pattern develop. Okay, here we go. Pull that tight, pull it down, pull this, there we go. Okay, so that is your first knot. Now pull this up, I'm not happy with that, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat again. Maroon right over the top, maroon left underneath, just like that. And then navy up and over and down and around, pull through. And on this side, navy up and over, down and around, and pull through. And start to tighten our cords. Tighten the maroon first, then tighten the navy blue, tighten, and tighten it up. Keep going. And now you can start to see our pattern start to develop a little bit. Now with this, because it is very thick, and you're gonna have about 12 feet of paracord in your little bracelet here, you're gonna wanna tighten this as much as possible. And that way you'll have a really nice pattern start to develop for you. So, and then you'll just keep this all happy up here, making sure that stays a nice little loop. And we'll just continue, and I'll show you a few more, and then I'll show you how to finish it. But again, right maroon up and over the top, left maroon down and underneath, and just scooch that up. Right navy over, down, around, and through. Navy over, down, around, and through. And you start to tighten up our knots. And just tighten as you go. It just kind of takes a little finagling, you'll get it. And just keep tightening. And there we have our pattern start to develop. Oops, flipped around. There we go. Okay. Oh. There we go. All right. And now you can scooch the knots up and just keep retightening them as you go, and just pull on each individual one, and that'll give it a nice little tight feel. So you start to see the ladder pattern developing on this side, and then on the back side, you'll see the backside pattern. So this will be the front of your bracelet. This is what you're gonna see. So I'm gonna continue to knot, and then when we get to the end, I'm gonna show you how to go ahead and finish this. So now I've just finished my last ladder knot, and I've left about an inch or so of space down here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make one square knot to go ahead and finish it off. So we won't be using our navy cords anymore. We'll be making our square knots with the maroon cords. And you're gonna put the right cord over the top, the left over and back down, and it's gonna come up through the other side here. Just kind of grab that. And then we're gonna pull that tight. And we're gonna repeat on the other side. So I'm gonna take my left cord and go up and over, right cord, up and back, and pull through, right through that opening right there. And I'm gonna tighten this up nice and tight. Give it a good strong pull. Okay, just make sure all my cords are nice and tight. I have my loop there, so that's my square knot at the end. And now I'm just going to take my pair of scissors and cut close. And I'm going to cut off all 4 cords. Now to make sure that doesn't fray, and also to make sure it looks better, I'm going to go ahead and use a lighter and just click it on. Please be very careful, and all you're going to do is just sort of get those little ends, wait until they melt just a little bit, and then go ahead and press it down to give it a smooth finish. And it becomes very plastic-like, and you're just going to do that for all 4 cords. Please be careful when you're working with a lighter. This stuff is very hot, and since you are melting the cord, you want to be extra careful. And just use the end of your lighter to kind of smooth it down. Then it's good to the touch. Moving on to the other side. A little bit more there. Just kind of use my lighter to see how I'm making it nice and smooth so it doesn't stick out and be sharp at all. Keep it away from the metal. Go ahead and burn that. Okay, so now I've got my cord ends all taken care of, and the last and final step is to attach your lobster, and this just hooks right on there. And moving to the other side, you'll just be able to hook it right on, and there you have it. Your bracelet is now finished. And just to let you know, this bracelet and all of the findings, all of the paracord, we have several different colors that you can use, and all of this is found at beadaholique.com.